Let's go Browns! What if I told you that the Browns rookie minicamp just turned some expectations upside down, and not necessarily in the way fans expected? While it's too early to call anyone the next big thing or label a draft pick a bust, the first on-field glimpse of Cleveland's rookie class provided some intriguing signs, a few surprises, and a storyline that could shape the entire season before it even starts. Let's be honest, rookie minicamp is no place to start crowning the franchise's next savior. Helmets, jerseys, shorts, no pads. It's basically the NFL version of syllabus week. But Browns fans were glued to one crucial question. Between Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, who's the guy? Even though there's no real quarterback controversy, at least not yet, you can feel the anticipation bubbling up. Fans are looking for a sign, a spark, a hint that the future might be more stable than the chaotic quarterback carousel that has defined Cleveland for decades. I'll give you all the details, but first, please like if you've been a Browns fan for 16 plus years. It's great to see fans of all ages. Much respect. Now, I want to ask you something. On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Kevin Stefanski as the Browns head coach? Comment below. Let's get right to the big surprise. Both rookies looked good. Not great, not so good that they're running the world, but competent, confident, clean, no meltdowns, no 3-interception practice horror stories. Yes, there were a few bad passes, because this is rookie camp, and that's to be expected, but both Sanders and Gabriel gave fans something we haven't had much of at this stage in recent years. Hope. The kind of hope that makes you look at the calendar and wonder, what if? Now, while both quarterbacks showed promise, the conversation around them sparked a minor media circus, specifically around a moment that was supposed to be about football, but ended up highlighting something else. During a post-practice press conference, Mary Kay Cabot asked Dillon Gabriel how he would handle playing in the shadow of Shedeur Sanders, a question that drew a sharp but composed response from Gabriel. I think the more questions I get asked like that, it just divides the team. Bang! That's a vet mindset in a rookie body. Gabriel didn't flinch, didn't take the bait. He saw the narrative forming and stopped it cold. Credit to him. That's the kind of maturity Cleveland needs in the locker room, regardless of who wins the job. But that wasn't the only headline involving the media. Just minutes after Gabriel wrapped up his availability, a clip surfaced showing Chris Easterling of the Akron Beacon-Journal mouthing, "I'm taller than him," while still on camera. It was a throwaway line, a locker room style jab, but the timing? Brutal. When you're in front of a live stream, next to a podium, it's not the place to drop jokes about a player's height, especially when you're not exactly built like a wideout yourself. It came off poorly, and in a media landscape where Browns fans already feel like the coverage is shaky at best, this was a moment that stung. This is rookie minicamp. The attention should be on the players, not on off-the-cuff, poorly timed wisecracks from the press gallery. Switching gears, one of the biggest and most unfortunate developments was the injury status of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. The dynamic linebacker, who's become a core piece of Cleveland's defense, was placed on the PUP list and will miss the entire 2025 season. And just like that, opportunity knocks for rookie Carson Swessinger, the 33rd overall pick out of UCLA. Let's be clear, Swessinger didn't win this shot. No one wants to see a teammate go down. But the reality is, this opens the door for him to see immediate, meaningful playing time. Swessinger now has a real chance to make his mark from day one. With Owusu-Koramoah out, Jordan Hicks will anchor the middle, but Devin Bush, who saw an uptick in snaps last year, still only played about 50% on a good day. That leaves a wide open lane for Swessinger to carve out a role. The rookie doesn't need to be spectacular overnight. He just needs to be steady, aggressive, and smart. The bar for him to get on the field isn't sky high. He just has to outwork and outlast the competition. And in a Jim Schwartz defense, if you can fly to the football, you'll see the field. And while we're talking winners and losers, let's not ignore the visual that had Browns fans doing double takes on social media. Mason Graham, the nearly 300-pound defensive tackle, was spotted throwing up through his helmet during practice. Yeah, it's a gnarly image. But does it mean the kid is out of shape or not ready? Not necessarily. Look, when you're pushing 300 pounds, the sun is beating down, and you're grinding through drills in early May, sometimes your body taps out before your brain does. He came back. He kept working. It's not a red flag. It's a rookie pushing his limits. And fans should see that not as a failure, but as a statement. Graham is here to compete, and he's leaving it all on the field, even if it means leaving lunch there too. All right, Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your read on Shedeur and Gabriel so far? Are you leaning one way or another? And what about Carson Swessinger stepping into such a big role so soon? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Now let's go even deeper, because rookie minicamp didn't just shake up the quarterback and linebacker outlook, it quietly gave us a glimpse into the Browns' wide receiver plans. And if you're reading between the lines, this might be where one of the biggest roster battles of training camp is about to explode. Here's what happened. After camp wrapped up, the Browns added 3 wide receivers to the 90-man roster. These weren't just late-round picks. These were rookie minicamp tryout players, guys who came in with nothing but an invite and earned their spot. That's no small feat, but what's more interesting than who got in is what that says about who might be on the way out. Let's look at the current WR room. You've got Jerry Jeudy, Cleveland's big offseason splash, and Cedric Tillman, the second-year man the staff has been high on since draft day. Those two, they're locked in, no doubt. But after that, it's a traffic jam. You've got David Bell, Deontay Johnson, Michael Woods, and now a fresh crop of hungry undrafted guys. And here's the deal. The Browns aren't carrying 10 wide receivers into the season. Maybe 6, 7 if someone earns it on special teams. That means 4, maybe 5 guys are going to be fighting for 3 spots. And you tell me, are you putting your chips on David Bell right now? Deontay Johnson? Michael Woods? Do you really feel confident staking your season on any of those names? Because Andrew Berry clearly doesn't, not after adding 3 new guys post-camp. It's not just about depth either. The Browns have 4 quarterbacks right now. Maybe 5 if Deshaun Watson ends up on the PUP list officially, joining Owusu-Koramoah. That's a lot of arms slinging balls during practice. And if you're running drills with 4 QBs, you need bodies, lots of them, just to make sure the reps stay clean. Do the math. For quarterbacks, 3 wideouts per group, that's 12. Bump that to 4 per quarterback and now you're talking 16. That's why these minicamp wideouts matter. Not just for what they did last weekend, but for what they might become once the real competition begins. And speaking of wideouts with something to prove, let's rewind back to Mason Graham's moment again. This image, big man, hunched over, puking through his helmet, got passed around like a meme. Some people laughed, some overreacted, but here's the truth. That might have been the most football guy moment of the weekend. Mason Graham is 296 pounds. He's out there, first real NFL action, temperatures creeping up, pushing himself to the edge. He didn't quit. He didn't walk off. He emptied the tank and kept going. If that's not what you want in a defensive tackle, what is? Now let's hit something that slipped under the radar but could turn into a massive storyline. The Browns signed 2 safeties after rookie minicamp, Ryan Jenkins and Damontae Kazee. Quiet moves? Maybe. But they tell a bigger story about the coaching staff's mindset heading into the summer. They're not settling. They're not satisfied. Even in May, they're tweaking the roster, upgrading spots that might not seem urgent but could become critical by week 3 or 4. Jenkins and Kazee didn't just show up and get lucky. They earned those calls. And when your front office is making these kinds of decisions this early, it tells you one thing loud and clear. Every spot on this roster is up for grabs. And look, let's go back to Carson Schlesinger for a second, because his story is about more than just filling in for an injured starter. This is a kid who, coming out of UCLA, had a chip on his shoulder the size of a linebacker's pad. He wasn't a top 10 pick. He didn't walk in with a guaranteed starting role. But now, because of one brutal injury to a teammate, he's got a lane wide open in front of him. And what you're hearing from Berea is that Schlesinger isn't just seizing the moment, he's setting the tone. Coaches are already impressed with his football IQ, his sideline-to-sideline speed, and his ability to absorb the playbook at warp speed. In the NFL, opportunity doesn't knock twice. For Schlesinger, it didn't knock at all, it kicked the door in. And now the question isn't just can he hold down the fort? It's what if this guy is better than expected? What if he's the answer long term? Because if he can anchor that second linebacker spot next to Jordan Hicks and elevate this defense without missing a beat, then Andrew Berry didn't just get lucky, he found another foundational piece. Look, this minicamp didn't give us final answers,